allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome all to the May 11th meeting of the Westport School Committee. First on the agenda is comments and statements from the public, citizens' participation, and I believe we have some guests.
We do, and I have one request of the school committee that I just want to know before we move into that, whether you would agree to add one item to the agenda that we forgot, and it was my fault because we had it in the notes for new business for this, which is basically the schedule for the elementary school, because Mrs. Wilkinson had not been able to be here last week. So I don't know if you want to add this now to the agenda or leave it till the next school committee meeting.
We can do it either way. All three to approve it, right? That's all we needed was the three of us to.
Yeah, to change the agenda.
So we'll have a
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And so that's unanimous. And we'll add that under action agenda? Is there any?
No, we'll do it under your informational on F.
Okay, any comments from the citizens? Is there some student input we want to have at this time?
We do have a couple of students for coming to tell us a little bit about their trip that they just took with the Mrs. Arlen Bach trip. Why don't you come up, introduce yourselves, speak into the mic. That one or that one, either one.
You can be on camera over here.
Yeah.
A couple of seats for you?
Yes.
Join us. And
So you're not, you might want to lower that.
I'm Tyler Knowles. I'm Tyler Robert. And we went on the Roman Athens trip. And they hear is all right?
Yes.
All right.
You're good.
Not exactly sure what to talk about because they just told us asked us to
Show up.
show up and tell us about the trip. But
So how was
it was a very fun trip. I definitely recommend it to anyone as a kid who comes to Westport for the next trip. It was very fun. It was a total of 9 days. I couldn't complain about anything on the trip. The only thing I didn't like was
Coming home.
Yeah. That too. But we had a layover in London for like 5 hours, and couldn't sleep there with the plastic seats. And other than that,
So what were your highlights? How about that?
The sites.
Yeah, the Pantheon, all that stuff. It was really nice. Like the hotels were all good. You know, what was there? It was nice, like to get away from like Facebook and stuff like that. And it was like nice not to have like bring a phone and stuff like that, not texting. It was actually really, it was different, I guess you could say, from being away from that stuff.
One question for you guys. Want to chair?
absolutely.
The Washington D.C. trip is usually very rushed. They do a lot of walking. You're constantly on the move. How'd you find your time there? Did you have any?
Well,
Was it rushed at all, or was it
No.
relaxing?
It was very relaxing. I went on that Washington trip, and like waking up, like very short periods of time to sleep. Like over there, they give us a reasonable amount of time to sleep. That you could wake up the next day and feel rejuvenated and be able to walk through all the sites and stuff like that. Some days you walk further than others, but other than that, they give you a reasonable amount of time for rest. They fed us well. They paid for like 2 of our meals a day.
Did you have to do fundraising just for this trip, or was it? How was the price point?
We did some fundraisers.
Well,
We did a couple car washes. We had
guess
some
you could
bake
sell
sales, I
tickets.
think.
Good.
And stuff like that.
And how many students went on the trip?
22, I think. 22, 23, something like that.
But we also met up with
20.
24.
24. There you go. I was close.
We brought back 2 extra students.
I was gonna say how many came back.
How many stayed?
I can stay for another 2 weeks. So beautiful in Greece.
Is that your first time in Europe, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Did you find it a welcoming atmosphere for Americans to be visiting?
Yeah, it was, I was surprised, but yeah, we were welcomed. I mean, every once in a while you might get someone who wasn't, I remember this one coffee shop, this one guy, you know, he didn't necessarily like us, I guess, but, I mean, he didn't give like generosity, I guess. I mean, he wasn't like spitting in our food, but, you know, he wasn't as welcoming as everyone else in Europe. But other than that, I think, you know, we didn't experience any discrimination or anything like that.
Well, we appreciate hearing about it, and certainly look forward to the term paper that you probably have assigned to write about it. You didn't hear about that? Thank you.
That's your end of the year report.
Graduation requirement.
Okay.
Is that open to the whole senior class, I would guess?
Not
Only
everybody.
22 people.
Yeah, not everybody wants to go.
That's still a good percentage, it's only 100 and...
Yeah, and it's during the break, so, you know, a lot of parents and families go away, so it's nice.
Do you know what the cost was on that?
I did not ask what the cost was on that.
That's why I was wondering if it was affordable to more students and...
Is it open to seniors only, or
Juniors and seniors.
juniors and seniors?
The 2 top classes, you know, but they do have to fundraise, or, you know, they would
Pay out
have
of
to pay the
pocket.
whole thing. I don't know what the price per student was.
Well, certainly it sounds to be a great learning experience for our students, and
I'll chaperone.
we encourage that kind of life
Trust me,
experience.
I thought of that, and then I said, no, they don't want me to go with
You
them.
couldn't get there on the motorcycle.
Yeah, no, I could go and rent the motorcycle over there.
Moving right along, seeing no other comments from the audience, we will move on to our informational agenda. Starting with the update on monthly enrollment.
We're inching our way closer to the 95% daily attendance. We're still a little bit behind where we were last year, but we're catching up. If you take a look, actually the middle school is the one that has had the best attendance, which kind of was very surprising, but great. We do have a small increase in free and reduced lunch from last year. Just, you know, as an FYI, there are more students applying for it and more students getting it. So that's one of those things that I figured you should know.
Is that because we pushed more for it this year?
I don't think I think a lot of it is we have done that, but part of it is I think people have felt the pinch, in particular along the lines of, you know, we've increased fees, and they know that if they're in free and reduced lunch, they may not get to pay the fees, so there was a lot more people saying, oh, you mean if I am in free and reduced lunch? Well, let me see if I qualify, which in many other cases they wouldn't have. But, you know, either way, it just speaks a little bit to times are not yet good. We're not doing well in the economy still.
And noticing the 2% increase doesn't necessarily mean that that's families that are totally out of work, but as hard as they are working, they may meet the criteria. So I'd encourage all students whose families are feeling some pressures to investigate if they qualify.
Yes. And you know, it costs nothing to at least put in the paperwork and see if you qualify.
No.
So that part is, you know, it takes us a few minutes to see if they qualify. We let them know in a day or two, run the numbers.
And that enables us to